That's up in the air, he's getting under it. This could be victory, it is. Pakistan win the World Cup. A magnificent performance in front of 87,000 people. Imran Khan has led his side to victory. What a great victory.
Midway through that tournament, we had no hopes, hardly any hopes. But Imran, from day one till that final, he was aggressively telling us all the time that we're going to win this World Cup.
Imran said, guys, I want you to tell you one thing. I want you to play this game like a corner Tigers. If you play this game like a corner Tigers, I'm guarantee you, you will win the World Cup. But he said it the way he said it. I cannot tell you straight away everything went in our system. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
The moment you accept defeat in the mind, you cannot win. But if you think you can win, even though you're in an impossible situation, you can come back.
It was perhaps the greatest comeback of cricket history. Midway through the 1992 World Cup, Pakistan were out of it, until, inspired by their captain's pioneering approach to leadership and sheer strength of character, the side were led to the most memorable of victories.
He was the leader who was believing himself rather than believing his soldiers. He was that journal basically who had that, you know, like, I want to face the first bullet rather than my soldier has to face.
I think what was striking about Imran was his aggression and his positivity. It was always win, always wickets, always runs, always domination.
He got something. You know, he had style. He has style. He has style, the way he plays, the way he performs, and the way he is on and off the field. Definitely, he's got it, which not that many people have, and Imran has.
He was a true role model. I mean, he used to work hard, and he's a guy who used to lead from front.
He was a character who always wanted to win, simple as this.
My own first cousin, who was the chairman of selection committee, halfway through the World Cup, when we were 50-1, so he called me up in Australia, talking about there was some injury. And so, you know, he was almost consoling me. I said, listen, what are you talking about? We're going to win this World Cup. And later on, my sisters told me, because he's my first cousin, we met them somewhere, he said, he's finally lost it. He said, he's gone.
Never once did he change or alter his stance on it. And we would privately say, I think he's out of his mind.
Before the semi-final, everything was in our direction. Why? Because that belief.
I had realized that the mind was by far the most important weapon you had rather than your physical talent. So it is the mental strength that ensures victory, and the mind played, by this time I had realized, the mind actually played a bigger part than your talent.
And so it was quite evident that we were going to fight it out. Captain wants us to fight, and by that time, individually and collectively, we had clicked as a unit and as individuals. So we were confident also.
That belief. He never think Wasim is going to get a wicket for me. He never think Inzi is going to get runs for me. Javed Miadad is going to get runs. Imran Khan is going to do himself everything.
That overall aggression in his personality and that positivity really showed quite remarkably during that World Cup also.
Imran Khan has led his side to victory. What a great victory.
Well, from the aspect of the sort of happiness it gave to the people of this country, from the time of acknowledgement from your supporters and your countrymen, I guess that was the great achievement. But the one credit I take as a captain, I think which transformed the mental attitude, was we were petrified of losing. What I tried to instill in the team was that we would try and win. It didn't matter if we lost. I think that's where the change came in. And I think once you instill this in the team, when the teams learn to play to win, I think their whole attitude and approach to the game changes. And I think that's when the real potential of a player comes out.
Never once in a team meeting he would ask us to draw a game, and always would tell us that losing is better than drawing. And so, I mean, when he was building up a unit, it was great to have him around us because he would guide us through anxious moments.
He was a very different character to any of the captains I have seen or played under. He was a man who wanted to win all the time. Doesn't matter you lose, it doesn't matter you go down, as long as you fight for it.
Well, I think if the captain performs, the captain has to perform, you know, and lead from the front, command the respect. When that happens, you know, generally, no matter how diverse your team is, they will play for you.
He was a great man manager. We had a few very tough individuals. Javed was a tough individual. Abdul Qadir was another toughie. Wasim Akram was not exactly a tough individual, but you know, he got instant fame, and at times it was difficult for him to handle that. And Imran really helped him go through that phase as well.
If a player played for the team, I would back him, even if he failed. If a player played for himself, I mean, he knew that he would, you know, I would be there waiting for him in the dressing room if I realized that he wasn't playing for the team. I think that's what changed the team. And of course, I would do whatever I expected from the team, I would do myself. My whole desire, ambition in the beginning was to become a batsman. I mean, I really wanted to be a batsman. And then I went to the trials of under-19, Lahore under-19 for some representative match. And they selected me as a bowler, and they didn't think I was much of a batsman. There were these boys who had come from the streets, much, much better than me. But instead, they, you know, I was just standing around, and they said afterwards, there anyone bowlers who want to bowl? So I put my hand up. And the moment I bowled 3 deliveries, one of the selectors stopped me and told everyone to watch my bowling action. And my bowling action wasn't very good.
Bowled in with a good delivery coming in from outside off stump. Well bowled by Imran Khan.
All the coaches, I mean, there was a coach at Worcester, and whenever I tried to tell him, I said, look, I want to change my action because it's got limitation. He said, don't try it. You lose whatever you've got, because I could swing the ball still. He said, you lose your swing. And so I kept asking people, I said, I want to change my action. But this is my first season with Worcester. But actually, I then just experimented in the winter when, you know, in the off season, we had a gymnasium in the school. So with a tennis ball in the gymnasium, I tried to, you know, restructure my bowling action. And by the end of the winter, I had changed my action. And so when I went to play for Worcester's second team, I had changed my action completely.
Oh, and he's gone. Beautifully bowled. What a good delivery.
I had watched bowlers bowl, you know, in that first summer in England when I played Test cricket, and also when I was with Worcester for 2 or 3 months. And that I had watched other bowlers come in and bowl there. And so I had picked up various things, and I experimented in different ways how to change it. And it was probably the most difficult thing I did.
I'm not sure he became a superstar through Sussex, but he developed his game, he developed his bowling style, his ability to swing the ball particularly, his thoughts on the game. I think Imran, once given responsibility, he would take on responsibility very well, and that applied to his actual game itself, and then his leadership. I think Imran would be a good example of someone who rather more led, or would have led, from the front, using his outstanding gifts as a batsman and a bowler to inspire those within his grasp.
Firstly, you know, my ambition was never to become the captain. So the strength I had was that if I thought that I couldn't make the team win, I didn't mind resigning from captaincy, and I'm the only captain in Pakistan's history who resigned twice on some issue of principle because I had problems with the cricket board. That gave me the strength. You know, because when people cling on to captaincy, they make wrong compromises. So because I had that strength, what I ended up doing in Pakistan team was I made the team, boys play for the team. I was very forceful in team selection. And the two times I resigned as captain was when I could not get my own team. So I said, okay, I'll play as a player, but I would not, the team you're giving me is not good enough for me to execute my strategy. Because I was successful, I was able to pick players. I would just have talent scouts because I wouldn't play the domestic cricket after 1981. I became the captain in 82. And what I would do, I would have certain talent scouts who I respected their judgment on cricket. And then I would tell them if I would keep listening to them, so they would tell me about various players. I would then invite them, when we were practicing, you know, before a test series, I would invite them to the camp and watch them there.
He has, I promise to you, he was so good into watching people temperament, you know, who got a great temperament. Waka never gets selected in that highest level. He used to play first-class cricket. There is a one game on the TV he was playing, and he went in 5 overs, 45 runs or 50 runs. He gets hammered for everywhere.
I had food poisoning. So I was in bed one day and I watched some local one-day match on television which was being shown. And I watched him bowl. And the next day, I called him into the nets.
I don't know what he saw in me. This is where I say that he's got an eye of a selector, and he saw me. And the next morning he came to the nets and he says, "You're going to Sharjah."
Abdul Qadir, when I became the captain, had been out of the team for 3 years. Qadir was thinking of leaving cricket, or so he told me. I had to fight to get him into the team on the tour to England in 1982. You know, I had to stake everything on his selection. So similarly, in Zamam, someone had told me about him. I watched him 5 minutes in the nets with Wasim and Waqar bowling to him. And I told him that he would play next year in the World Cup.
First 3 ball, Inzi faced. The second noise we heard that we find a new Vivrachid for Pakistan. For one net, he used to say that. And he just picked Inzi like that and he said, "You are in."
One of the selectors resigned in protest on Inzamam's inclusion. All the selectors, others told me that, look, we've tried him, he's useless, he's got no big match temperament, you know, whenever we put him in a big match or some Pakistan A team, he always fails and so on. So it's because the domestic cricket did not either polish their talent or wasn't good enough. That's why I had to make these arbitrary selections.
Pakistan cricket changed because of Imran Khan. He was the most, I would say he's a king of Pakistan cricket, definitely.
He was another character of a kind that probably Pakistan will never see again.
How would I want people to remember me is just so ridiculous a thought. You know, I don't function like that. I have objectives in my mind, you know, and I have to believe in them. I have to feel passion for them. The last 3 years of my cricketing career, my passion had gone out of the game and I really wanted to leave cricket then. Wanted to do so many other things. Mainly at that time was this, to build a cancer hospital, which I had started, but I didn't know how to go on. And it was a huge task. So I mean, I thought my greatest success was building the cancer hospital. I can tell you, I got greater satisfaction and fulfillment the day those doors of the cancer hospital opened than even the World Cup. I cannot tell you what I went through.
Saturday on